Hello and welcome, I am Arumba, thank you for joining me. Let's play some Stellaris. It's finally here, it's out, it's live! I just got back from a 48-hour binge session in London and had a great time playing with the fellas that made the game. I'm not an expert by any means, but we're going to do our best to showcase some of the features of the game, and we're going to play as my Transhuman Union type government that I created when I played over there. And then, of course, we're going to have multiple campaigns after that to experience like everything that there can be experienced in this game. But let's just briefly walk through like what this government type is. It's a science directorate. So one of the things that I really liked about this in the mid game was having extra research alternatives. Being allowed to choose between more research options, I felt like was a huge advantage. So I want to try that government form out. We're militarists, which means that we like being at war. We gain extra influence from having rivals, and we don't necessarily like having alliances. We're fanatical materialists, so we put out more science and physics, science, and regular engineering. We're also an intelligent species because we're post-human. You know, we've surpassed the singularity is kind of the way that I figure. So we get extra resource output there as well. I took the solitary negative trait because, in my personal experience, happiness is completely irrelevant in this game. And so why not take it? And I'll show you what I mean when we get in game, how it really makes no difference. And then I also took enduring because I feel like having your leaders live a long time means they get more experience, and getting more experience makes them really pretty darn good. So we'll give that a go. We use nuclear missiles, standard warp travel. We like to live on continental worlds like Earth. We're going to use the Sol system. Of course, we use mammalian ships, and we're going to go from there. We'll use just basic default settings for the very first campaign, and let's just see where we go. So, in the eons, since the first primitive transhuman communities took shape on the grassy savannas of Earth, our civilization has spread and prospered. Through scientific progress, we have managed to stamp out the superstitions that ruled the minds of our ancestors. As reason and rational thought spread among our people, the inefficient nation-states that we had, until then, organized ourselves into were disbanded, and a council of our most accomplished scientists was gathered to rule in their stead. Now, after the successful creation of several experimental subspace fields, the finest minds of the Transhuman Union have finished development of the first warp drives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. So let us begin. So, we need to pick our research. We'll start with that. We've got a few different peoples. We've got Shota Okada, which I believe you could... Can you rename the scientists? Looks like no. But she is a resilient leader. So, sorry, by she, of course, I mean he is resilient. So he's just going to live even extra long on top of the racial trait. So this guy's going to live for freaking ever. That means, though, that he doesn't have any specific benefit to certain research categories. But let's just see what we could unlock here. So we could go for the physics lab, we could go for the solar panel network, the power hub, giving us access to some better energy generation, or we could go for fusion reactor, generates a great amount of power but without many of the risks associated with fission power. Okay, this allows us to store more energy as well, and it generates more power on our ships, so maybe we can get by with cheaper ships, you know, fewer fusion power core generators. I think maybe the physics lab might be the way to go. Possibly, I'm not sure. Maybe solar panel network. Let's go with solar panel network. We've got Adra something. She's got expertise in new worlds. So she likes to research anything related to new worlds. So something like this, the New Worlds Protocol. She would be good at this because it's her specialty. So I think that going for the colony ship research would probably just be a good idea, don't you think? So instead of getting just a 2% bonus like this guy's getting, due to his leader level, he's got 1 star, she's getting a 12% bonus because it's 2% per skill level, which is 1, plus 10% because it's her specialty. And then finally we have Song Shen, who is a maniacal guy. He's just plus 5% research across the board. We can work on the ion thruster, which gives us sublight speed and better chances to evade. It's considered rocketry research, but that doesn't affect him because he's maniacal. Or we could work on an engineering facility, which allows us to kind of specialize some of our research points. Work on nanocomposite armor. This gives us armor on our ships that we can put up. I like the idea of the ion thruster early on. That sounds pretty good. So that is where we're going to go from there. Let's check out our initial leader. Director Advaith Gowda. He is a industrialist. Home in the sky. Spaceport build cost and spaceport module cost. Okay, so we get bonus minerals. That's kind of cool. I don't think we're going to be building any extra spaceports for a while, not until we can actually colonize, but I guess that's nice. Policies. Let's just take the time to look through some of these pages before we really dive in. Our war economy is static, meaning that I'm not really going to mess with it too much at this point. Basically, a semi-static war economy allows the seizure of limited assets from the private sector for the sake of survival during a defensive war, and a corresponding loss of efficiency while in winning offensive wars. Dynamic is the opposite. When we are in winning wars, we get more stuff. We'll just leave this one as static. Slavery is prohibited. We don't purge things. We don't really do too much orbital bombardment. We don't let people migrate, which for now has no effect whatsoever. Resettlement is also not a thing. Elitism is the only option. No pops can vote. The leaders of the empire decide on the election. Leadership can only be our primary species. We only have one primary species. First contact protocol is aggressive or peaceful. Let's say that we're going to go with can't be changed for 10. Let's leave it on aggressive. I don't know. We'll probably want to blow up some space slugs or something. And then we've got edicts. We spend influence to enact edicts. And information quarantine, I think, is not necessary. It reduces ethics divergence, but we don't have any ethics divergence right now. This is where, like, your people stop believing in what you believe in, and it can cause, like, fractures within your pop groups. So we're not going to enable that one. Encourage free thought, on the other hand, increases ethics divergence, but also gives you flat 10% research across the board. And then these ones give you a 30% bonus and a 20% total malice on the other two. So a net gain of 10 versus a net gain of 30, because it's multiplied by all three. So I'm going to encourage free thought and see if we can get a bonus here to our research for a little bit. Right now we have 7 pops across one world. We like to live on continental planets. We're intelligent. These are our modifiers. There we go. That's kind of where we're at. And our population is just transhuman. That's all that we are. So, where else do we go from there? We've already looked at all this stuff. Okay, F2 then, F3, F4. We're not going to do auto-generated ships. We'll design our own ships because it's fun. There's nothing in the situation log. The situation log is basically like if you played EU4, it's your missions dialogue. It kind of gives you an idea of what to do, where to go, like kind of how you should play. It just kind of guides you a little bit. Beyond that, let's just make sure that the outliner is organized the way that I like. I like civilian ships to be near the top, right below planets, because I feel like civilian ships are more micro-intensive than the military fleets and stuff are. So we'll go ahead and do that. We start off with one science ship. It is pioneered by Marjorie Hood, who is a roamer. Survey speed plus 25%. That seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and get her surveying Earth. Earth being a... We chose to have the Sol system. I just figured it makes sense, right? We're playing as the transhumanists, so Sol system. We've got Venus and Mercury and Mars and et cetera, and it's just interesting that way. We've also got a construction ship that we can't really do anything with just yet. We need to have the survey ship maybe find some resources on Mars or something before we can do that. So for now, let's just send this guy over to just move here, and maybe we can do something with him. Now, our military fleet, we could go do some exploration with. I've tried in the past breaking them apart and just saying, like, okay, one ship goes in every direction, and we find a lot of species. But I'm going to do it different this time around, and we're going to keep the fleet together. And let's go ahead and maybe we even hire an early leader, since we have that trait that makes our leaders live a very long time. I'm thinking maybe by hiring an early admiral, he can get some experience, and maybe that'll prove to be valuable for us in the future. So let's recruit one. We've got one guy here who's eager, Admiral Tashawn. He's just eager, so reduced recruitment cost. He's skill level 1. We've got a cautious and a cautious. I think we just go with a cheaper guy, right? Because we want a guy, but I don't necessarily want to pay a lot for him. And then let's go ahead and put him in charge of the military fleet. And then let's make this military fleet kind of explore a little bit for us. Let's head over to Barnard's Star and see what we see. On Earth, we have a governor named Eva Perez. Now, this is different than our director. The director is like the president of our empire, and he has his own specific bonuses. But when it comes to our leaders, we also have governors who govern planets, and she's good at doing foods. Hydroponic food farm cost is lower, and she makes more food. So that's just something she's good at, that's cool, sure. We'll take that. Her level 1 skill level increases happiness by 2%. It reduces construction and clear blocker time by 6%. Blockers are these things here. So she just makes it a little bit cheaper to get rid of stuff. And then because of that trait that she had, she's got the food bonus and the hydroponics farm build cost reduction. So we're definitely going to want to take advantage of that trait that she's got and probably build up some extra hydroponics farms pretty early on to get the population to grow a bit. Like, we could immediately build a hydroponics farm. Normally this would cost 60, but because of her trait, it's only 48, which is pretty good. We could also just immediately try to go straight into science labs, right? Get an advantage in tech early on. How fast are we growing right now? We have 4 surplus food. So that gives us a growth rate of... Where is our growing pop? We apparently have no growing pop listed just yet. It'll be a little while, I guess. Within 1 day, it should pop up. I'm so tempted to just immediately start with some more research. Unfortunately, all of the research locations are blocked at the moment. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to start off, even though we have that bonus, we're going to start off with a basic science lab. And we're going to get that thing being worked right away. And we will go from there. So I think we're ready to unpause and see what we see. So our normal speed, let's pay close attention to our science ship here. He's heading to the sun first, because of course, you know, there's reasons. 18 orders to investigate Sol. Her experience level is level 0. She needs 200 experience to get to level 2. That'll increase her research speed bonus, and I believe as they get more and more experience, they have a chance to pick up new traits. So surveying Sol just gave her 18 experience points. The construction ship has nothing to do, it's just sitting there. And this guy here has no experience whatsoever, probably because he needs to kill things to feel good about himself. So we should find some things that he can kill. Might even want to consider training up an extra couple corvettes for him, so that he can, blow things up. Now, we use ships. We have the interceptor core is apparently what's been designed for us. We use small nuclear missiles. I may change this, in fact. I like the striker core. There's 3 different variations to the corvette class. This one has 3 small weapon slots. This one has 1 medium and 1 small. They all have 5 utility slots. This one has 2 medium utility slots, but very few weapon slots. So, it's kind of curious. Maybe you can make like a more armored version of it. But for now, we have such crap technology that, like, even looking at the interceptor core, I mean, these are our options. We could put in fusion reactors. Wow. And we could put in nuclear missiles. So even if we decked it out with nuclear missiles, and then we put in some fusion reactors, notice how the power is at -17. Now we've got a functional ship. But if you compare that, just cancel whatever I've done, that's going to be exactly what they've designed for us, right? On the other hand, if we wanted to make a variant, we could say like new design, corvette. We want to make the striker core class. We want to make a nuclear missile that's small and a nuclear missile that's medium. Now this one's bigger. And what's different about the size difference is, look at this. The accuracy is still 100%. The damage range changes, the cost gets doubled, but look at the range difference. The range is longer, and I like that. I like the idea that the missiles can engage from a farther distance away. So in my mind, I kind of feel like this Striker class Corvette might be more useful for us in the beginning. We're going to still need the same amount of power requirements here, like that. And then we don't have access to anything other than a basic warp drive, basic combat computer, basic chemical thrusters, and basic survey scanners. So we'll do that. Apparently I have to pick a name. It won't just give me a name. So we'll call this the Striker class, because I'm super Striker class Corvette. Yeah, sure, save. Because I'm super creative like that. So we've got the Striker, and then we've got the Jaeger, which was an automatically designed ship. Now, if I delete this, we'll no longer be able to use the ship design to produce new ships. I'm gonna go ahead and do that though, because I don't want to build it that way. That doesn't delete our military fleet, right? They still exist as that class, the Jaeger class. The next time I tell them to upgrade, they will upgrade to the other type. Notice how the cost to upgrade is 0, because the mineral cost of the ships was the exact same. So we're just switching the composition of the ship. Somehow they're combining 2 missile launchers into 1. So is this military fleet still in system? It's on its way to Barnard Star. Let's go ahead and we'll tell it to go upgrade first. No, go ahead, finish off in Barnard Star. Here, H key to cancel your command. Just go check out Barnard Star, but then we'll do an upgrade. And I wouldn't mind maybe picking up 1 extra ship here soon. You're already idle in Barnard Star, so you've discovered nothing here. All right, well, come on home and upgrade then. Switch over to the Striker class. Let's check out our science ship, see how she's doing. Now, we could immediately hire another science vessel and start surveying more, but I think we want to use our initial minerals to try to get more minerals. Minerals in the beginning, like if you don't have minerals, you can't get minerals. It's a definite problem to have. Takes minerals to make minerals. So what we're looking for right now is we want to find in this system, we're hoping that she uncovers a mineral location that we can send our construction ship to. Whether it's going to be on Venus or Mars or Uranus, who knows where. Just something, really. We can instruct the construction ship to follow her around so that as soon as it does find something that can be done, it's already there and we can immediately start building. I think that would be a fine thing. Just getting some more experience. And we've actually found 3 energy credits. Are energy credits really worth it? I don't think so. I'm not going to do that just yet. All I really care about at this point is more minerals, because it takes, again, minerals to make minerals. So we'll keep on doing that follow command. And the instant this upgrade,
fleet detected.
There should be a fairly quick upgrade here. Unidentified object detected. So we have 150 military power dudes that just entered our empire. Well, that's curious. Or rather, they're en route to enter it. Hopefully they're neutral and they don't try to do anything. If they come near our spaceport, it'll blow them up. But if they come near these guys, I'll be terrified. Okay, so they're currently upgrading. One thing I don't really know how the game calculates is like how, I mean, again, there was 0 cost to the upgrade, and yet it does take time to do the upgrade. Not sure why. You would suppose that maybe it's a little bit faster, but hey, they're getting upgraded to the longer form Striker class Corvette, which I think will work out well for us. Not finding much in our initial system here. This is rather disappointing. But she's getting some experience, so I suppose that's good. 95% upgraded.
Ships upgraded. Construction complete.
Okay. And the spaceport on Earth has... so it did that thing. The fleet was upgraded. And they have left our sensor range. Earth is still working on that basic science lab. Let's go ahead and continue to explore with these guys. We've already kind of checked out Barnard Star. Let's go check out Alpha Centauri. And again, now when we look at these ships, they're all using the... Well, they've named it the Kangaroo, but it is that Striker class Corvette with the medium range missiles. So we'll see how that does for us. Nice little stockpile of minerals. We're going to use these right away as soon as we get access to something. We can see that our basic science lab is almost done. This is where the new population unit's being grown. It's growing at a rate of 1.2 per month. The base is about 1, and the extra food that you have gives you more. So I think we'll probably end up just pulling like one of these pop units off to get the extra science here. We're going to do that like right now, just so I don't forget. So for 7 days, he's technically unemployed, but this basic science lab is going to give us 20% more research, which is pretty darn significant in my mind. We could do again another one. We have another empty tile? No, we don't. But food tiles are pretty useless, so I think we'll build another basic science lab here as well. That did cut in quite a bit to our minerals, but I feel like getting an advantage in science early on. I mean, come on, we're the post-humans, right? We're the Transhuman and Union. We've got to do a good job with science and stuff. Have we seriously discovered nothing but energy credits in Sol? This is garbage. Come on, there's got to be some minerals in Saturn somewhere in the ring. I know they're in there. This leader was born to roam the stars, Marjorie Hood. What'd you find? Energy? God damn it! Stupid woman, stop finding energy. The military fleet, what are you up to? There's nothing in Alpha Centauri. Except for potentially colonizable planets at some point. Alright, why don't you go check out something else that's nearby. Just go find enemies to kill. That's your job. Now, when you're looking at the game, notice this little green ring here? That's your sensor range. That lets you see if there's enemies nearby. This larger range, since we're using traditional warp drives, that's how far we can warp in one jump. So that doesn't mean that I can't go to like here. It just means that if I wanted to go to there, I'd probably first have to go to like here and then there. So something worth considering. As we upgrade our ship classes, like say for example we find our Corvette class, if we upgrade our sensor range, then that's going to increase the sensor range. And if we upgrade our warp drive, that increases the warp range. That is exactly what those things do. Wait a minute. Engineering. There's engineering available in Sol. We found something. Engineering points in Titan. Is it worth it? It's not minerals, but it's engineering points. That can make a big difference in long-term research. I think we wait until we have the rest of Sol surveyed. There's 8 more planets or 8 more objects to be surveyed before we contribute the minerals to it. I really want minerals to be like one of the first things that we get, but I'll take an energy or an engineering research upgrade over an energy research upgrade at this point. So, still nothing, huh? There's nothing over here? No one for you to kill? You seem so... There's definitely going to be something in that black hole. But let's just keep looking about. We are in the top right corner, so expanding in this direction, we're probably not going to find much, but that's okay. I don't really mind not finding people right away. She's about to level up soon. That'll help out her research speed. I don't know if research speed helps out her survey speed. Presumably it should, I would guess.
Situation log updated.
Uh-oh. Something has happened. We've encountered some form of alien vessels. These are the Alpha aliens. We should proceed with caution. Didn't take long for us to come across alien life. So the situation log says we should investigate the Alpha aliens. We're not going to do that just yet, because if we do that, that is going to pause our societal research and stop us from working on our first colony ship. And I want to get a second colony going right away. So I think we're going to ignore the Alpha aliens for now. Alpha aliens is just like the first aliens we've met. It's not like Alpha is anything any specialer than that, really. So, go survey Ceres for me, please. Get your level up. That'll be splendid. Come on, Ceres. It's a rock. For Christ's sake, it's a rock. There's got to be rocks on that rock. I know it. I can just feel it in my bones. But yeah, I would presume that. Okay, so she's gained a level. It's nice. More survey speed's good. She's a roamer. She was a roamer before. It doesn't look like she picked up anything other than just research speed. And of course, she found nothing on that rock. It's just an empty asteroid. Great. Well, what is this? Alpha aliens are over here. Estimated power of 78.53. Shall we go kill them? We could. They're in Barnard Star. That's near our space. Let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe we should be aggressive. Just kill everything on sight. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But for now, I'm gonna have to. Oh, there's the beta aliens now. Yeah, that's a lot of beta aliens. Yeah, okay, let's go after these ones. Barnard Star. I don't want to mess with the bigger, stronger ones. Anyway, I'm going to take a break here. As always, thank you for showing your support, watching the series, enjoying the campaign. This is a fantastic game. I hope you enjoy it with me. Leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think we should be aggressive? Should we try to play the Alliance game? Should we just kill everything on sight? Should we focus on science? Let me know what your thoughts are for this very first campaign. I'm going to be playing tons of Stellaris, so we will do everything that can be done in this game. The question is, what do we do first? So, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next episode. See you soon.